Peekaboo. Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Oh, bummer. Whenever I minimize Shadows of the Empire, there's like a 50-50 chance that it will crash, and it looks like it did that. So I gotta start it back up. How's everybody doing? Good to see ya. It didn't crash. Wow, it didn't crash. Sweet. Let me go ahead and turn the well, I have to minimize again to turn the music off, so I bet it crashes now. I bet it goddamn crashes now. Let's see. Yep, it crashed. Sweet. This is a wonderful start to our Monday evening live stream. I'll get it working. One sec. How's everybody doing, guys? I am trying to get this game to launch. It has taken over my my primary monitor, and I can't get anything else to pop up other than a dead Shadows of the Empire, and bingo, got it. Sweet. Let's get this ball rolling, man. What's new with you guys? What's new with you? I got to go to work tomorrow. I was off Sunday and Monday. Nice little 48 hours off. There we go. Let me turn up the game. I don't remember if this game is super... I haven't streamed this in so long. I feel like it's been maybe like a year and a half or 2 years, which is kind of crazy for me because I played the shit out of Shadows of the Empire for a very long time. It was like the primary game that I streamed. It overtook Battlefront 2 as like my most streamed game, I would say, in the past couple of years. But I haven't streamed it in like a year and a half. I don't think I've launched it in like a year and a half. So it feels good to jump back in. This is a game that is, very near and dear to my heart. It came out in 1996. I was 10 years old when this bad boy came out. Shadows of the Empire just hits me in all the right spots. I love this game through and through. I'm really curious if like some younger folks out there in the chat right now, if you've never played this game, I'm really curious if you hopped in, what you would think of it. Like, gameplay wise, graphics wise, everything wise. What do you, I would love to know if somebody out there has never played this game or just recently played it for the first time. What are your thoughts on this, like, 2+ decade old Star Wars game? Oh. I'm about to play some Xbox with my friends. Nice. Have a good one. Dude, Alex Dunn, thank you so much for the extremely generous super chat and channel support this evening. Despite you having to run, you supported the channel, and I appreciate the ever-living shit out of that. But I don't blame you. Get going, man. It's Yeah, there's nothing like playing some games with your buddies, right? I haven't played much in the past couple of years because we're all having kids now, but I've been playing games with the same group of dudes, literally, since I was 14 or 15 years old. We're all like 36. We're all 36, 37, and 38 now, basically. Oh, one sec. I have a feeling the game volume is going to be way too loud, so I'm going to minimize, turn this bad boy down, and try this again. There we go. So yeah, it's I've been playing with the same core group of guys for, I mean, golly, it's crazy how long it's been, and there's nothing like it. You know, it's become more. It's like less about the video game these days and more about like just catching up and socializing again for the first time in a long time. You know, is my control not going to work? Am I going to have to play with the mouse and keyboard? Oh, it's going to work, I think. What is it doing? What is it doing? What the hell was that? What the hell is this? There we go. Yeah, for like every other game on the computer, I prefer a mouse and keyboard. But for Shadows of the Empire, I have to have a control. I don't know why. Like if I try to play this game with a mouse and keyboard, I get motion sickness. It's strange. It's strange. Maybe it's just due to playing this game since 1996 with a controller, and it's the only way that I can do it. But yeah. Anyway, Alex, can't miss that. Have fun, man. It's all about hanging out with the buddies on the microphone and shooting the shit and acting up and being goofy and trolling and having fun, right? That's what it's all about, man. Enjoy it. And once again, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this evening, buddy. Cheers. What are you guys playing? Yeah, I actually, if you follow me on Twitter, recently in the past, like, I don't know, week, I posted a picture of my office, my wall, behind my computer monitors, and I command stripped a N64 copy of Shadows of the Empire to my wall to kind of fill in a little gap. I was like, what can I put in this little gap? I need something. Should I get like a small picture frame? What should I get? And then it dawned on me, oh, a Nintendo 64 game cartridge would fit perfectly there. It would fit perfectly. Oop, I lost the cable. We'll get it again. Anyway. Minato Namikaze, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Minato says, did you see that Marvel pays its... Hold on, let me get this AT-AT down real quick. There we go. One more pass, I think, and we got him. Sweet. Minato says, did you see that Marvel pays its VFX artist 15% less than the industry? Will Lucasfilm do the same in an attempt to cut cost on upcoming projects? No, I hadn't heard that. So they pay them 15% less than like the industry average. I'd have to get into the nitty gritty when it comes to the details of that. But, you know, right off the bat, just without any knowledge, without any data to back that up, without any, you know, yeah, other information than your super chat, I gotta say that's a pretty big bummer. I mean, I'm sure it's all relative, you know, but you would think that like the biggest goddamn movie studio to ever exist, the biggest movie franchise ever, arguably the most prolific film franchise in history would do their VFX department a pretty big solid, and you would think that they would pay 15% above average, right? You would like to think so. For how much goddamn the whole movie is VFX, right? Crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that, but no, I hadn't heard that. Anyway, I appreciate that, Mr. Minato. Hope you're doing well, man. I guess everybody's cutting costs, including Marvel. That's one thing that I would think would not have to, you know, I guess I can understand inflation and paying $7 for a dozen eggs. from like a logical standpoint, I suppose. I mean, it's stupid and doesn't make sense, and it pisses you off every time you go to the grocery store. But in your thinking brain, you go, I guess it makes sense. Not paying your VFX department 15% less in the biggest goddamn movie franchise ever. That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I'll have to look into that. Why can't I skip this? There we go. What's up, Sparkster? How about them Jaguars indeed? Dude. So they played Saturday night. For those of you who are not football fans, I apologize, but I am. And I'm a big Jaguars fan. I used to have season tickets for like 5 years. I've been living in Jacksonville since 1998, 1999, something like that. And I've been a Jaguar fan pretty much my whole life. And they played on Saturday, and we were super excited. You know, they made it to the playoffs. What are they going to do? Young quarterback, young team. They shouldn't have even gotten this far. What a hell of a season. We'll see what the future holds. And then I was at work, so I was watching at the fire station. And at halftime, well, Trevor Lawrence, our quarterback, threw 4 interceptions in the first quarter. I mean, the first half, rather. 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions in the first half. And then we were down 27. I don't know why my controller's not working certain buttons. We were down 27-0 at half. 27-0. And after halftime, we came back and won it 31-30. It was the wildest shit. We were all sitting, you know, again, I was watching at the fire station. We were all sitting there, and it was like a goddamn comedy, you know? Interception. Just scoring on us nonstop. We looked horrible. It was a comedy. And then after halftime, we were like, oh my God. And it was just like the most exciting game we had ever seen. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, yeah, man. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, we'll see if we can do it again on Saturday against the Chiefs. We shall see. I'm excited for it. Me and my wife are going to Savannah, Georgia, for the night on Saturday. So we'll find a sports bar to watch it at and you know, root for the Jags. It'll be a good time. But yeah, what a comeback indeed, Lewis. What a comeback indeed. Hey, it's Dash Rindar. Yeah, Mando Season 3 trailer tonight. What's up, Star Wars Daily? Yeah, I'm excited for it. I probably won't watch it until after this stream is over, so you're not going to get my my first thoughts, unfortunately. But and I probably won't make a video about it either. I got other videos, bigger videos, longer videos that I want to work on. And with the limited amount of time that I have, I really need to focus on those ideas, you know. All right, here we go. What's up, Boba Bricks? I got to get back into Rogue Squadron on N64. Yeah, I have Rogue Squadron on the 64. My 64 is in like our exercise room in a big plastic container in the closet. But I also have Rogue Squadron on the PC, and it runs fine. It runs great. I mean, it runs as good as this. But the problem is, oh, one sec.
Star Wars Jedi Kings 2 to the Meta Quest are now working to bring the 2005 Star Wars Battlefront 2 to the Quest with possible multiplayer.
Arlen, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. What was I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, well. Oh, Rogue Squadron. I have Rogue Squadron on the PC. Runs great, blah, blah, blah. But whenever I try to stream it, my computer can, like, my streaming software cannot find it. If I just try to stream my monitor, it still does not work. I can't minimize the game, which is a bummer. Like, you really need to be able to minimize a game in order to stream. There's a lot of little settings and bullshit you got to do. So, like, I've owned the same with the pod racing game. I've owned these games on my PC, and I've had big ambitions to stream them. I've never been able to, just because technical difficulties. Maybe one day I'll figure it out, but, like, it was frustrating to try to get it to work for a while. I like how I just round corners, and I know, after like almost 3 decades of playing this game, I know exactly where everyone is going to be. Pop 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 pop. There we go. Where are we at? Arlen and Minato, thank you guys so much once again for the super chats and channel support. Arlen says, VR fanboy alert. Team Beef, the same VR modders that ported Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 to the MetaQuest, are now working to bring the 2005 Star Wars Battlefront 2 to the Quest with possible multiplayer. That is awesome. Yeah, I did. Did you bring that to my attention a couple streams ago, Arlen? I did a little quick Google search. That looked like so much fun. I wish I had a VR headset. I'm not in the market for one. I mean, maybe in the future when they come down in price significantly, but as of right now, I'm not in the market. I love that. I love when when just people make stuff out of love, you know? Like, there's a Fallout New Vegas Star Wars mod coming out or being worked on right now, and it just looks incredible. There's so many like little fan projects like that. Somebody made Dark Forces, remade Dark Forces. Somebody remade it in the Unreal Engine. Like, it's just incredible, man. It's absolutely incredible what people are doing just out of love for a subject matter, love for a game, love for nostalgia, you know? So yeah, that's I love seeing that kind of stuff, you know. Even though I will not be able to play it, and maybe, you know, in the distant future I will. But despite that, it's just so, I don't know, it's just inspiring to see people you know, making stuff like that just out of pure there's a purity to it, really, you know. It's pretty awesome. But I'll have to check that out. Is that just now announced, or is that something that they actually have like a working prototype of? I'm sure they do. Well, I don't know. That they're working on, but too cool, man. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Anyway, Arlen, cheers, man. Hopefully, I just keep hoping that, like, you know, when DVD players first came out, they were like $800, $1,000, you know. I just keep hoping that, you know, in a couple years, VR headsets are going to be as affordable. Like, again, the DVD player thing is to me the perfect example. DVD players were like $800 when they first came out, and then a year later you could get one for like $100, and then a couple years later you get one for like $50. I hope VR headsets, you know, eventually go down that path and become affordable to the average consumer. Because as of right now, it's a factor of, yeah, I don't want to spend the money on it, but also a factor of not having time to play anything, you know? I'd probably be buying a VR headset more for, like, experiences. Like, cool, like, demos and travel experiences, if that makes sense. And, like, I don't know. The Quest is about only about $400. $400 is $400 is what I like pay for health insurance for my family and a paycheck. $400 is a lot, man. Yeah. Maybe in the distant future, but I'd love to. I've had, you know, I've messed around with my buddy's VR headset a couple times. It's pretty incredible. But yeah, not in the market for one as of right now. Oh yeah, I can use seekers. Missiles, right? I always forget that. Anyway, Arlen, cheers, man. I'll keep an eye out for that. What button do I need to hit? Missiles. There we go. Okay. I think they reload, too, the missiles, don't they? Anyway. Minato Namikaze, thank you so much for the super chat once again, man. I greatly appreciate that, that channel support this evening. I'm out of missiles. Doesn't anybody have any missiles? What movie? What movie? It's jammed. Doesn't anybody have any missiles? Who's that? Russell Gay, sir. In the words of my generation, up yours. Dad, what's he doing? Come on, somebody say it in the chat. Somebody say it in the chat. There you go, Mr. Vince, Mr. Arlen. What's okay, sir? Is that not... I went into Independence Day Resurgence or whatever the fuck it's called. I went into the theater so excited. Like, my logical brain shut off. My thinking mind went to sleep. And my 1996 10-year-old nostalgia took over. I went into the theater to see the sequel to Independence Day that I love so much. And as soon as it started, I thought to myself, oh, this is gonna be shit. And it was. It was quite possibly the worst sequel of a movie ever. I should have known better than that, Vince. I agree. I agree. It was so bad. And then I thought to myself, like, was it bad? Because, you saw the original when you were, I don't know, 10 years old. And you watched it so much. I watched that movie so much as a kid. I was like, if I saw this as a 10-year-old now, would I like it? I'm like, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's just fun. It's fun. The new one was not fun. There was nothing fun about it. It was ass. Anyway. Minato, sorry, man. Minato asks, are you a fan of the UFC or MMA in general? Not really. I used to watch fights with my friends back in the day. Very rarely. I have not, like, no joke, I have not watched a fight since Rich Franklin was fighting. I don't even know if he's, when did Rich Franklin fight? I feel like that was probably 15, 16, 17 years ago. So no, I wouldn't call myself a fan. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't watch it. I don't know anything about it really. I'm sure, if there's a big fight or like, even people at my station don't watch it. Like maybe they're into it, but we tend to, like, nobody watches it when fights are on and stuff. And if I would think that if somebody was into it at the station, they would turn it on. But no, it's I'm not even gonna say it's not for me, because I could see myself getting into it, but I just haven't paid attention to it in so long, But yeah, man. Are you a fan? Now I think it would be fun to train. I think it would be fun to in some discipline, it would be fun to train, and I'd like that. You know, there are some like jujitsu gyms around me that I think would be fun to go sign up, and I don't know, even if it's just to kind of get a feel for what it's like, you know. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Is that what he said, Vince? Is that what he said about it? That's funny. I loved it. I'm just fucking with you. It sucked. It might be the worst movie I've ever seen. That's funny. I need to catch up. They just released a it wasn't a half in the bag. What was it? It wasn't a review either. What was it? Was it a best of the worst? Just came out like 2 days ago or something like that. I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. There you go. Last night I was going through all the Tyson fights. It doesn't take too long. I remember where I was the night that he bit Holyfield's ear off. I remember where I was. I was in Ohio at my cousin's parents' house, and they were having like a party, a pay-per-view party. What year was that? Was it 90s? Late 90s maybe? I don't remember. Yeah, I remember where I was. It's funny. They had the Nuki VHS thing. Oh, yeah. So they released 2 of those videos. I have not watched the one where they actually watch it. I watched the one where they talked about like the VHS market and how the sale of VHSs have exploded and all that shit. It was an interesting video. I like that kind of video that they make. Jack Tesson, thank you so much, man. Good to see you, Mr. Jack. I always recognize the Ewok there, Mr. Wicket. Jack says, "Hello, HG. I hope you're well. This is the best Star Wars game. Wish it was on the Switch. Yeah, it's surprising that it's not. That is really surprising that it's not on the Switch. When I put my let me itch my ear real quick. I got a little itchy itch. When I put on my nostalgia goggles, I tend to think that this is my favorite single-player Star Wars game of all time. There. Oh, one sec. There we go. I love it through and through. You know, Jack, I remember getting this game Christmas of 1996. I opened this game up Christmas of 96, and I was like, I opened it up and I was like, to my parents, I was like, I don't have a Nintendo 64. And they were like, oh, I guess we'll have to take it back. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, they didn't realize that like you need the new system to play these new games. I had a Super Nintendo, but in my head, I'm like, oh, they must think that, I could play this game on a Super Nintendo. Oh, shit. Which I can't, obviously. So I was like, whatever. I didn't ask for a Nintendo 64. It's not like I was bummed out. But then, like, the last present that I opened was a Nintendo 64, and then dawned on me that I could play this game. And I've been playing it literally ever since. Since 1996, I've been playing this game. I have so many hours. I just know where every enemy is. I can beat it in like an hour. Like, it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. And again, I don't know if it's because I played it extensively as a kid and, I have that giant nostalgia factor for it. I would love if somebody out there who has never played it, like a younger kid, I guess I could ask my cousins or nephews, something like that. But I would love to know what they would think of it, with modern eyes, having never played it before. Did they think it was fun? Did they think it was super wonky? Obviously, there's better games out there when it comes to graphics and excitement level. And look, man, Orbandell, riding this train for what, like 20 minutes, mostly nothing going on. No real bad guys to speak of, and your biggest enemy is making the jump, you know. But anyway, Jack, I appreciate that, man. Everything's going really well. And indeed, the best Star Wars game. And yeah, get it on the Switch. I'm surprised it's not on the Switch. That's crazy. Okay, I'll jump to the next hover train. I've only been doing that for 20 goddamn minutes. I kind of know what I need to do already. Prepare for impact. Oh yeah, and then I get to battle IG-88. Again, I've said this before, but like back in the day playing this game, when IG-88 popped up, it was terror. I was terrified. You know, as a 10-year-old, IG-88 was so tough. But now, watch. Just watch. Watch and learn, my friends. Watch, it's going to be the worst. This is going to be the I'm not, he's going to kill me. Watch this. Watch. Talking all this shit. He's going to dominate me. Watch this. Death to IG-88. Yeah, 10-year-old me, it would have taken me 30 minutes, multiple tries. He would have just been kicking my ass. And then I just shot 6 Seekers into his belly. Knocked him dead. Funny.
I'll watch the ship. Get out there and find Boba Fett.
Jack says, I played the game when I was young too. Me and Dad played it all the time. Loved playing the game to get to the last mission. Yeah, man. It is indeed fun. Indeed. Indeed. We need to start a petition to get this bad boy on the Switch, though, right? It's kind of wild that it's not on there. I think it would be a pretty big hit. People would buy it. I would buy it on the Switch. I own it on the Nintendo 64. I own it on the PC, but I would buy it on the Switch. Probably make a good chunk of change if they released it on the Switch, no? Did I say it was a chore, Vince? That sounds like me. Yeah, I tried to play it. I love that game. But running around, I don't know if it's me and just I'm not very good at directions. But like I had a really hard time navigating a bunch of levels in Fallen Order, especially some of the earlier planets. You know. Hopefully they kind of figure out that with the sequel. I wonder if there is any... This is a random thought. I wonder if, you get your jetpack later on in this level. And I wonder if I can backtrack. I wonder if I can retrace my steps, come back to this area, and jetpack over to those, like, mountains or whatever. And I wonder if there's anything over there. That would be like the ultimate little hidden Easter egg, right? Backtracking, coming back to the this spot as I slide. This part of the level where these ledges are. I don't know what it is. Sometimes, like, even if you're not touching the joystick, your character just kind of slides. Dash just like is on ice. And he'll just slide down. Ah. How about them Jags? Indeed, my friend. We talked about that a little earlier in the stream. So exciting. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, man. I was watching at the fire station, you know, at half, we were down 27-0. Oops, 27-0. Come back to win it 31-30. Mind blowing. It was a comedy for a while there. 4 interceptions. We were just watching it to watch it, and then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, coming back. Oh my God. The city's going crazy right now, man. I had a bunch of buddies that were at the stadium. Like most people that I knew who live in Jacksonville were at the stadium. And crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know how much chance I give them against the Chiefs, but I'm so excited for the game. We shouldn't even made it this far. I'm so excited for the game. Me and my wife are going to Savannah, Georgia for the weekend and just a little kind of date night. Got a hotel, and we're going to find a sports bar and watch the game on Saturday. That should be a good time. Oh, I got a little shit streak there. Ah. Oh no! Get some of this health. Yeah, the Mando trailer. I'll probably end up watching it after the stream. Probably won't be able to watch it on the stream. There was never any level in this game that gave me any headache. I don't think. But those of you who know Dark Forces and my history with the diarrhea water slide, Anote City, that is my, that's my menace. Always has been. Oh, I thought there was a guy there. Oh no, my memory is failing me. Leap, shoot. ATST mission. ATST mission. Is this where you fight an ATST? Isn't this where at the very, but this is at the very end you fight Boba Fett. Yeah, at the very end of this you fight Boba Fett. There is another moment where you fight an ATST. I don't think it's in. Oh yeah, there is an ATST in this mission. There is. It is. The ATST is inside of like a hangar. Let's see if I remember how to turn the. There we go. Jetpack on. That's that button. Okay. Whee! Base jumping. What's up, Paranormal Highway? God, I need to get a fan in my office. It gets so hot in here. What's up, Sappity? Loading screen. Boop. Stage complete. There's a guy right here. Oh, other side. Yeah, the ATST's coming up. After I ride this little taxi. Guy just minding his own business. Oh, I was trying to hit the shuttle. All right. What you do, ladies and gentlemen, you get your seekers out. And then you scratch one bogey. Did he fall on me? There we go. Sweet. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Oppenheimer, Mass Effect. Yep, I'll definitely be seeing it. I like Cillian Murphy. I like Nolan. Interesting story to tell. Interesting character. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Oop. I need that health. Arlen, once again, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Let me take a quick sip of the old water. There we go. Let me get up here really quick. Arlen asks, curious about your thoughts. Big world building Star Wars stuff like the Mandoverse, MCU style, versus smaller one-shot standalone Star Wars stories. I tend to prefer, as you put, like one-shot standalone stories. When now I love the Mandalorian, all that jazz, but and I love, I do love me some continuations and stories that kind of span, and characters that even span different films and stories and stuff like that. I do. But I really love when a Star Wars thing Andor is a great example. Yeah, it ties into everything else, but it is such a small is not the right way to put it, I guess, but it's its own thing. It's its own thing, its own unique thing, right? I prefer stuff like that over, as you put it, MCU style movies or shows or stories. I'm not a fan of the MCU. It doesn't really do anything for me, man. Like I don't watch the movies anymore. The last one that I saw, I think, was the first Black Panther. But even before that, I hadn't seen very many. I don't get into the Avengers, like when all like the characters come together. Just I don't know, man. There's so much quirk involved, and I don't know. It just really doesn't do much for me. I definitely prefer smaller stories that revolve around lesser known characters. But again, there's a place for both, right? There's a place for these giant, all-encompassing and connecting Star Wars stories. There's a place for it, but there's also a place for the smaller scale stories that feel more quaint. One sec. Vince, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Give me 1 sec, man. Give me 1 sec. Let me here. I'll pause it real quick. Catch up before I fight the Fett. Yeah, Arlen. So, again, there's a place for both, but when there's a reason that I like the first season of The Mandalorian more than the second, and probably more than what's going to be the third. The first Mandalorian was kind of a smaller scale, felt like, as you put a one shot, I guess you could say, standalone thing. And then it became like Star Wars Greatest Hits. We started seeing so many familiar faces: Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Luke, Bo-Katan. A bunch of familiar faces, characters that we're already familiar with, started popping in. And that's when it kind of starts losing me, because we had a really good thing going here. I know people eat that shit up, but I'm often in the minority when it comes to my opinions, which is cool. It's fine with me, but I kind of wanted it to remain its own unique thing without having to continuously tie in. Not everything needs to just tie in together, right? Not everything needs to be connected in such a blunt and obvious way, that's when things start kind of losing me. I guess that's why I love Andor so much. And look, there's familiar faces in Andor. Andor is a familiar face. Mon Mothma, is in there. But it doesn't feel as ham-fisted and in your face as a lot of the other Star Wars shows and whatnot, But I don't know. There's room for both, but I definitely prefer the smaller scale stuff. Anyway, Vince and Caretaker, thank you guys both so much for the super chat and channel support. Vince says, maybe alone, but I love when Mando is goofy adventures like in this episode they fight a spider. In this one they get an egg. I expect season 3 won't be as serialized, which I don't exactly look forward to. I'm right there with you. Every episode of the first season of The Mandalorian was so unique and different than other ones. Some were 30 minutes, some were an hour, some Suka, all these Jawas digging into a giant egg. I enjoy the goofiness of a lot of that stuff as well. I think we're very familiar in that opinion. And I liked that every single episode was its own little unique adventure. Yeah, there was a through line, get the kid to safety, blah blah blah. There is a thread there, but each episode was you didn't really know what to expect because everything was so different from one another, and every little adventure was its own unique little thing. And yeah, I don't really know. I agree with you. Season 3 is probably going to take everything from season 2 that I didn't really care for. It's fun to see, yeah, don't get me wrong, but it went in a direction that I was hoping it wouldn't, and I still liked it. Don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling that it's going to ramp that even higher up, and it's going to push the familiarity even further, which, in my opinion, is something that's going to detract from my enjoyment, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Andor stays course, right? Because goddamn, man, that's one of my favorite Star Wars things ever. It's crazy. Anyway, cheers, Vince. Caretaker wanted, thank you so much, Caretaker. I appreciate that. From seeing Dune and Blade Runner 2049, I would love Denis Villeneuve to direct a Star Wars movie. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've always been. Let me dominate. Oh, why did I pick up my mouse and keyboard? I'm playing with a controller today, ladies and gentlemen. I've always been an advocate for getting all sorts of different directors in the chair when it comes to Star Wars. I love the idea of getting a ton of different visions. Where'd you go? I love the idea of getting a ton of different visions made in the Star Wars universe, because then things don't feel as stagnant and mulched over. You get different perspectives, different styles of directing and all that jazz, and there we go. Oh, this game is so much easier when you're playing it after a couple decades, right? You just go in and dominate. That shit would have terrified me as a kid, and that would have taken me forever. So yeah, I'm right there with you, Caretaker. I would love to see him spearhead a Star Wars movie, but not just him. Again, anybody. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the game and chit chat a little bit until the hour mark in the old Lightspeed Lounge. But yeah, I would love for any like independent or smaller. I mean, Ryan Johnson is a good example, right? Under his belt, when he got Star Wars, what did he have? He had Looper, and he had Brick. Was that it? Brothers Grimm? What else did he have before Ryan Johnson? Like movies, actual movies. And I love the idea of getting more smaller, more, I don't know, taking risks with lesser known directors and stuff like that, because that's kind of where the ingenuity is, but yeah, I would love anybody to get their hands on Star Wars and make something, because I want that difference. I want that ingenuity. I want that creative mix. But I would love to see Danny Boyle make a Star Wars. I would love to see anybody make a Star Wars movie, But hell yeah. Cheers. I need to watch the new Blade Runner again. I haven't seen it since it was in theaters. Me and my wife went to our favorite little independent movie theater called Sunray Cinema and watched it there. Anyway. And Clay Decker, thank you so much for coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream. I'm going to hop off in about 4 minutes. Clay says, hey, Greedo, thank you. Over 10 years of entertainment. I've been watching you for 10 years. Almost half my life. That is wild, Clay. And you are my favorite Star Wars YouTuber. Well, I appreciate the kind words, man. And I really appreciate you you tuning in all these years. It's crazy to think like that this channel has operated for, it's almost 12 years now that this channel has existed. I started this thing when I was 25 years old, and it ebbs and flows, you know. I've never been a very prolific uploader. I mean, there were a few years there where I was uploading a lot, but for the most part, you know, I've never been a big prolific uploader. These streams I do more frequently, they're just fun because like it's kind of therapeutic, and I hop on and shoot the shit and talk about some fun stuff. And but for the most part, I feel like I've always said that I have a healthy relationship with YouTube, you know, where I make stuff when I want to make stuff. It's never been like my main gig. I don't rely on it for money. I'm not pumping stuff out just to pump out stuff. I don't chase algorithms. I just make stuff and want to have some fun. You know, that's what this thing has always been about. And it's very laid back. And, you know, it's a the community that surrounds this channel is very to each his own, you know, like what you like. Like there's very rarely an asshole in this chat. If somebody disagrees with somebody, it's always handled very maturely. If somebody is an asshole in the chat, it's generally from somebody who doesn't know the vibe of the channel. You know, maybe they've only heard people talk about the channel. Like, oh, HelloGreedo, the Disney shill. What? If you think that, you're an idiot and you never watched my videos. You know, you've probably just heard somebody else's opinion of the channel. They probably think like I upload constantly and I just gush over everything Disney makes, which if you actually watch my shit, couldn't be further from the truth. Truth? Yeah, truth. It's just funny to me. But yeah, man, anyway, how did I get down that road? Yeah, it's wild to think that it's been that long, Clay. From, you know, in 2011, I started the channel. There was no mention of any new Star Wars. Disney had not bought the franchise yet, and I was just making stuff, you know, goofy, stupid shit. And then Disney bought the franchise, and we all rode this wave of excitement for The Force Awakens, you know. And it was, I look back on that time period very fondly because it was fun, and YouTube was innocent, and it wasn't filled with just a bunch of people always constantly being thin-skinned and riled up about nothing, you know, which is most of what like YouTube is, or entertainment YouTube that talks about movies. Everybody wants to join a goddamn community. It's gotten weird. It's lost me a little bit. That's why I kind of just do my own thing, and you know, but you know, it's still fun. I still enjoy it, and that's what it's all about. You know, I've always said that if it ever starts feeling like a job, that's when I kind of let go a little bit. You know, it's when I kind of like let go of the reins a little bit, take a little break, and then get back into it, I don't know, a couple months later. Yeah, it's fun. It's still fun. Anyway, cheers. I appreciate that, Clay. And thanks for tuning in all these years, man. And thanks for the support. All right, guys. That's it for me. That's what feels weird. There was no music going on. That's why this thing felt weird. I was like, this is oddly quiet. Anyway. What else? Go Jags? No, we'll say go Jags. Oh, I still have my Etsy tabs open. I'm in the market for a couple things. I want to get a... Oh, there's some really cool stuff that I want to get for my office. There's like a James Webb Space Telescope clock. That's kind of cool that I want to get. There's a Oga's Cantina laser carved wood sign that is just like what's outside of the actual cantina at Galaxy's Edge, and I want that in my office. I'm just kind of, you know, I've been living in this house for 3 years, and I feel like my office is just finally now coming together. Like, I just finished recently the wall behind my computer desk. You know, I have a game plan of what else I want to get in my office. You know, decorating with purpose rather than just throwing shit around. But yeah, anyway. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, man. Go Jags. I might stream, let's see. I might stream either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm hoping to get a video up by the end of the month. You know, the reason I played Shadows of the Empire was because I might make a complete history of Shadows of the Empire video. I think that would be fun, you know. The history of the game, the books, the comics. It would be a research paper for me, a learning experience, you know, a little trip down memory lane. But yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. To everybody who super chatted and channel supported the channel, I appreciate the hell out of it. To everybody who hung out in the chat, man, thanks for hanging out. All right, everybody. Be safe out there. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, your morning, your afternoon, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya.